Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 5th. This week you have the Tears of Remorse card. It says, make peace with regrets and allow the past to guide your actions in the future. You have the Sun. It says, the Sun is coming to shine its light to what's been kept hidden to reveal the truth. A little bit tongue-tied today here, Scorpio. So definitely we are in a time of truth where I feel a lot of truths could be coming out. We could also just be telling ourselves the truth, which is kind of what I feel for you here, Scorpio. It's not like you've been lying to yourself necessarily, but you might be being more honest about like what you want out of life, or you might be being more kind of like straightforward with yourself about what you want. And I think that could, be a good thing, of course, for you. You have the Four Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Hermit. So kind of just like I said, the Four Cups is like a card of dissatisfaction. He's tried to manifest something at least 3 times in front of him, and actually 4 times. He has that fourth cup. But he's not accepting that fourth cup into his life because he's been disappointed like 3 times before. And so, I always say that the guy on the 4 cups needs to realize that, like, yeah, sure, he's been disappointed, but he's learned from these 3 cups. And if he applies what he learned to these 3 cups to this cup, then he will get what he wants. So, the 4 cups is about mixing together ingredients, right? The ingredients of success, or the lessons that you've learned so that you can be more successful moving forward. But I also feel that Tears of Remorse card says you have to let go of the things that didn't work. You have to let go of the regrets. You have the Eight of Pentacles. All 3 water signs have had the Eight of Pentacles this week, which is actually good. You have the Ten of Pentacles right next to it. So, the Eight of Pentacles is like straightforward, diligent work. And the Ten of Pentacles right next to it would be the results, the fruits of your labor. The Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. So I do kind of feel a little bit different for you, Scorpio, than I did for the other 2 water signs, because, I do feel that you have done work, already. And so a lot of you, if you've done work that you haven't like gotten paid for, or if you've just, this could even be kind of like more energetic, right? Where you did a bunch of good things in the past, and now you're getting some sort of reward for the work that you've done in the past. And I do feel that. But I also feel that it would be a great week for you to like pick one thing and make it happen. Like pick one activity or one habit, or one thing that you want to work on, and see it through all the way to the end. Like I said, it's come up for all water signs, and it seems to be very important this week. So anything you can do to get closer to your dream, or to happiness, or towards joy, I would be working on those things with the Eight of Pentacles. And again, it's very straightforward as well. So the Eight of Pentacles says, like, don't overcomplicate things. Don't come up with some, like, so much work that you're not going to do anything. Like, keep it simple, right? And I would definitely do that with that card. I literally said to Pisces that I have a feeling that all 3 water signs are going to get the Hermit. I wasn't wrong about that one either. So it makes perfect sense to me that all 3 water signs have the Hermit, because I feel a lot of water signs are actually just coming out of Hermit mode. It's like you're getting out in public, you're shining your light more, you're standing out more. And I feel a lot of you could be doing that starting this week. This will actually probably be something that you do for a while. But I feel a lot of you could really be like standing out, getting attention, standing out to the people in your life more, and, all that other good stuff. And that's exactly what I would do with this Hermit energy. There's something about like guidance as well popping into my head. It's not exactly a clear message, but I feel some of you could be getting some sort of guidance this week. Like if you let's say you've been feeling off balance and maybe you haven't been sure like what to do. I feel some of you, I don't know that it's a message, or if, I literally feel could literally be a person that comes in and kind of like guides you off of this mountain, kind of like brings you back into civilization. So for some of you, it could be like a person who is physical, like here in the 3D, who is almost like a guide. Like I personally think that there are people here on Earth that are our guides, like actual physical guides. And, I just get that. I get something about that on that Hermit card. Like there could just be a person. It could be like a parent, a friend, a mentor, something like that. With the Four of Cups, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, needing to see the opportunity that exists, basically. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. The story of the Eight of Swords is that she's only focusing on one solution when there are many. So the Four of Cups could be like an offer coming in for you for something that has disappointed you in the past. And the Eight of Swords, I feel, saying you need to set yourself free and you need to actually see that this is a real opportunity. So again, if you get any opportunity this week for anything, I would take a closer look at it and don't just assume that it's going to be a failure or that it's not going to work or that it's not for you or whatever you're thinking with this Eight of Swords. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is like doing a lot of work, and he's very close to his goal, right? The story of this card is that he planted those wands. Those wands are his harvest, and he's about to reach his home in the background here. So like I said with the Eight of Pentacles, which is material success on the horizon, it kind of looks to me like you are getting paid for work that you've already done. Or, you could finally be finishing something up and getting the result, which is great. We see several cards here that say that. You always get the Ten of Wands with me, and so there's clearly, even though I feel good about this, you always get this card with me, so I would say that, I would be looking at the responsibilities or kind of like the burdens that other people are placing upon you, Scorpio. And I would make sure that you're not like doing things that you don't want to do, or, I would make sure that you're not letting other people control you in some way, like through responsibilities. And as long as you do that, and as long as you put up boundaries, I think you'll be fine. With the Hermit, you have the Four of Wands, freedom. Eight of Swords is being very stuck. The Four of Wands is the card of freedom. Of course, it's a card of marriage, and it's showing up in this reading twice, which is great. But the Four of Wands is really a card of like completing one thing and setting yourself free. If you read any of the older tarot books, right, they all say, yeah, like sure, Four of Wands can be marriage, but they all say that the Four of Wands can come up like when you're completing something, when you're wrapping up a project or bringing something to a conclusion, and then you are set free. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be setting yourself free this week as well, which also would be great. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card. It says it's time to celebrate. It says cultivate an air of celebration. Yes, I feel that you are going to be celebrating the Ten of Pentacles that shows up here. You have this become aware. It says listen to the wisdom of your body. Yes, if you are rejecting things, there's probably a reason for it. And so I would definitely, pay attention to that. And you literally could be feeling things. I remember like years ago, I had a person working for me. This was back when I was still going live on the channel every single day. And I kept getting this like lump in my throat like every single day. And, when I was like dealing with this person, and I finally realized my body was rejecting that person. Right. And there you go. And then I had to kick him to the curb for some very good reasons. Right. And so I feel that sometimes our body tries to tell us like, hey, this is a bad person, or, hey, you shouldn't be doing this thing. So I would be really listening to your body, especially right now, because it's probably guiding you either towards or away from something. The opposite is true as well. Like if you feel really good doing something, then obviously you should keep doing it. I always use the example of this channel. I feel really good doing this channel. Some days I'm tired. By the end, I'm like full of energy, right? So that would be the opposite, but I would pay attention. You have the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Eight of Cups is like walking away from things that no longer serve you. I mean, the Eight of Cups is also kind of obvious to me. I feel the Eight of Cups perfectly describes the time that we're in. He is walking away from something. Those 8 cups do provide him with a result, right? They do provide him with something, but he just knows that he would be settling if he stayed in this situation. So that he's walking away because it isn't right. And he doesn't know if he's going to find fulfillment or not. And like I said, this is kind of what the energy is, as far as I'm concerned. I think that, Pluto going from Capricorn to Aquarius, which, yes, it's an Aquarius, but, obviously changes don't happen overnight. And so I think that change, especially the cusp of Pluto, or Capricorn and Aquarius is like the death of establishment. So a lot of us are being asked to walk away from things that have been established in our lives for a long time. And we're being asked to go build something new that really fulfills us, that really makes us happy, and all that other good stuff. So that's what I would say with that Eight of Cups. And, funny enough, the Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it. And, so you could be, and we just had that set of those eclipses in March. We're going to have more eclipses. This eclipse season basically ends in September. So between now and September, you could be working on this. You have the Ten of Pentacles, and this is probably what you're working on. Ten of Pentacles is building, leaving a legacy. Again, this is not something that happens overnight. This is something that you will be working on forever. So I would be looking at your perfect dream, or I would be trying to identify what your dream life really looks like. And then I would start taking steps and making actions towards whatever that dream life is for you, because you have the opportunity to build it. That's why. And so I would get to work with the Ten of Pentacles. Money looks really good. Again, with the Eight of Pentacles, if you're finishing any projects up, or if you're finishing something up that involves work, definitely could be a very positive result with the Eight of Pentacles. It's kind of funny because you go up to the Seven of Pentacles here, and so it's like you're finishing something, you're getting a result, but then it's almost like you're saying to yourself, I'm not sure I want to do that ever again. Sometimes I think we can do that. It's like we can work on something, and it's like it gives us a good result, but we know that we probably don't ever want to do it again, right? And so, I don't know, that's popping into my head. You have the Five of Wands. Yeah, it is basically water signs' duty right now to stand out above the competition. Water signs have a very important role over the next many years, where it's like water signs are here to show people like how to survive, literally. Water signs have been through what everybody is about to go through in the world. And, I think water signs are here to be examples at this time. So I think anything you can do to like shine bright and like positively, right? Then you're going to be an example to other people. And that's going to be a good thing. But I also feel part of that is that water signs need to understand that competition doesn't exist for you. It might look like there's competition for something you want, but if you use your brain and you think about the competition, that you probably have some skills, talents, gifts, skills, and abilities that will help you stand out above the competition. And that's what water signs need to do, especially you, Scorpio. Like I think you need to, anywhere there's competition in your life, you just need to think to yourself, how can I, use my unique talents, gifts, skills, and abilities to make myself stand out? And if you do that, then you will be successful. And that's what I would do with the Five of Wands. With the Eight of Cups, you have the King of Pentacles. Really good. This is a really good money reading. So definitely could be improving your finances. I always say King of Pentacles, he isn't necessarily like mind-blowing amounts of money, but he can definitely represent improvement. So I feel there could be a lot of financial improvement or just more money coming in for you in general, which is great. With the Ten of Pentacles, you show up here, the Death card, love it. Very good, especially coming up with the Ten of Pentacles. Whenever you show up as the major arcana version of yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So you could really be standing out here with the Death card. This also would say that this is something that you are working on with that Ten of Pentacles. With the Five of Wands, yes, you have the Four of Cups. Again, it seems to me like water signs are also dealing with something that they think they can't have, but they can have. So like I said, Scorpio, it seems to me like you are getting an opportunity this week that maybe has disappointed you in the past, but I would give it another chance or another shot, like whatever this is. It definitely could be work related, obviously, with all these work cards showing up here. It's like there might be an opportunity to like go apply for a position again or apply for another, promotion or something like that. Might be an opportunity to try something again in your business, all that other good stuff. So I would definitely be like working on those types of things at this time. I think that would be the best thing for you. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Reckless card. Yes. It says, uncontrolled spending habits and impulsive purchases are making your financial journey harder than it has to be. Everybody alive right now needs to pay attention to this message right here. So, it's like, again, it's a very obvious message due to the astrology, but I think everybody should just be keeping an eye on their finances. I've literally been saying this since 2016, or probably even sooner, but I started going live every single day in 2016, and I literally said it every single day. Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces rules things that flow. Money, we call it currency, right? So it flows. So I think everybody has to be careful. Do I think anything bad is going to happen? No, but also who the hell knows, number one. Number two, money is changing. I used to say in 2016, by the time we get to 2026, money will be changing. So there will be financial changes. I actually think it's good. Like, I think there will be abundance, but between now and then, we need to keep an eye on spending habits. And money looks good here, but that's the other thing as well. It's like when people make more money, they spend more money. So I feel like it's saying, don't spend everything you make. Put a little bit to the side. You have this dream home card. It says, when you are living your best life every day, your dream is your actual home. So there you go. I think you are creating a dream environment for yourself with the Ten of Pentacles. You could be creating, a nicer place for yourself. And that could be literal, but it could also be something that you're doing in your head, or, you are changing your beliefs, or whatever the case may be. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Two of Swords. I got this feeling of like, it's like, yeah, you're getting a result, but you're not sure if you ever want to do it again. This is probably how I would feel about writing a book, right? It's like, people keep telling me I should write a book. I have actually started a book. I have 3 chapters done, but I never finished it, right? It's like, I probably should do it. It would probably be worth it, but I don't know that I would want to do it twice, right? And that's kind of like the feeling that I get off of the Seven of Pentacles. And obviously this message might only be for some of you, but it's like one of those things where maybe you're saying to yourself, like, yeah, I'll do this once, but like, that's it. This could be marriage for some of you, right? It's like you might be saying, I'll give marriage a shot once, but that's it. And I don't know, that's such a weird message to get on the Seven of Pentacles, but, I don't know. I have to deliver the messages I get. You have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands says, what are you waiting for? And so, anything you're thinking about doing, I would make your moves. Three of Wands is a card of expansion, but he kind of needs to get on these boats and go on a journey. Now, number one, I do think your ships are coming in. 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, right? The 3 of Wands can definitely say you're getting a result for the work you've done, which we've already talked about. But I also think it's an amazing time for everyone to adventure into the unknown. We have to go on adventures. Really, I think the trick with the astrology right now, and just the universe in general, is we need to experience variety. If we're creating Groundhog's Day for ourselves, where we're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, then we're going to have a really hard time. But I think the universe is saying, like, hey, there are a billion solutions to every problem that you have that exists. There are a billion good things for you to discover, but you're not going to discover it in Groundhog's Day. So it's taken me a long time to figure this message out, but that's really what I feel the universe is pushing people to do, is to experience variety. And I know that doesn't sound important, but when you start finding solutions and when you start getting better opportunities and things like that, I think you'll see what I'm saying. You have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is like this or that thinking. Again, Pluto in Aquarius is not this or that thinking. Sorry, I was petting my dog and I have a hair on my mouth. But anyway, this is a card that says that you could be thinking this or that, but really things are going to go this way over here. So, sometimes I feel the Two of Swords kind of says no assumptions at this time. We are in a time of allowing, where we really have to just allow what's going to happen. And, that's what I would do here with the Two of Swords, is like, you need to get into this energy of allowing. And that's that. With the Two of Swords, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about like taking the lead. I kind of feel, I'm kind of surprised the Chariot isn't showing up in this reading, although you do have the Wheel of Fortune. But, this is kind of giving me Chariot vibes. Chariot says is the card of hard control. You really have to take control of those reins on the Chariot and make things happen, even though the Chariot doesn't have reins. But bear with me. I'm painting a picture here, Scorpio. So again, even though the Chariot doesn't have reins, you really have to take control. The Wheel of Fortune is kind of similar, because the Wheel of Fortune is a great card. I think that, I love the Wheel of Fortune, but I also think that it gets too much credit in the tarot, because like the Wheel of Fortune is very clearly an action card. We have to take action to get the wheel spinning forwards. The wheel, for most people, just spins all over the place, and they get tossed around in the washing machine of life, as I call it. But, I think you really have to take control with that card. With the Three of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Yes, taking a risk. Definitely, Three of Wands with the Five of Swords is risk-taking. It's like the Fool. It's like taking a leap of faith. That guy there at the top of the card, he has to take a risk to get on those boats and go on an adventure. So definitely a risk. With the Two of Swords, you have the High Priestess. Very intuitive time, so I would definitely be listening to those messages that you're receiving. You might be receiving unusual messages as well. Like maybe, like it's hard for me to describe, but we're in a time of inspiration, which I think is very hard to describe to people, because it's like your inspirations, they could be guiding you to do something that makes no sense to your life at all. But when you do it, like if you, like, I don't know, I don't have a good example. Let's say you're in construction, right? And maybe you get an inspiration to go become a ballerina. You might be thinking, what the hell do those two things have in common? Other than nothing at all, right? It's like, but you never know. Maybe one day someone's lifting 20,000 pounds of steel up in the air, and because you took ballet class, you have better agility, and maybe the steel starts to fall and you're able to jump out of the way. It's like, yeah, that's a stupid story, but, again, that's like the time we're in. It's like the universe is trying to get us to do things so that we can be good at something that's going to happen in the future. And probably a million other things as well. So again, we have to follow our inspirations. If we feel excited by something, we should at least try it. We should at least, go figure it out, right? Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the strength card and the synchronicity card. Yes, a lot of synchronicities right now. I would, and here's the thing, don't second guess those synchronicities. It kind of reminds me of that old joke, I won't tell you the whole joke here, Scorpio, but there's a joke where there's like a guy, he's in the ocean, he's drowning, a boat comes by and says, the boat person says, hey, we'll give you a lift to land. And the guy's like, no, God will save me, right? And then like 10 more boats come along and he says the same thing. And then he drowns and he dies. And he goes to God and he says, God, why didn't you save me? He said, I sent you 10 boats, right? That's this right here, the synchronicity card. Don't keep asking for synchronicities. When you see one, this one right here, when you see one, it's a synchronicity. It's like many times people will ask me, like, I saw 1111, I saw this, I saw that, when I was thinking about something. Does that mean I should do it? I'm like, yeah. How many more signs does the universe have to send you, right? So don't second guess those synchronicities. The strength, I feel like you are becoming stronger as well. You have the Four of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Three of Pentacles. Not really a love reading, but, definitely could be marriage for those of you that are looking for love. The Four of Wands, I feel, is like really your commitment to your journey, what you're doing and like kind of seeing things through to the end. And I also feel like you're finishing something this week. So I kind of just get that like finish line energy on the Four of Wands. You have the Wheel of Fortune, definitely a change in your fortunes. Like I said, you have to be the one to take control. To take control of the wheel, we can use our vibrations with this squiggly snake over here. We can focus on the positive. Also, when good things happen, we need to double down on those good things. When bad things happen or when challenges pop up, we need to take care of them right away and not wait. And if we do that, then we are taking control of the wheel. Also, education. Self-education with the Wheel of Fortune is also a way that we can take control of our destiny. And so this card is encouraging you to take control of your fortunes. You have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely an amazing time for teamwork. Again, especially for you fixed signs out there, Scorpio, being a fixed sign. With Pluto and Aquarius, anything you can do that benefits the collective would be really good. Anything if you can allow people to share in your successes like this guy is here, those things will benefit you like a lot more as well. So I'm a big fan of doing this right now. I'm not even a fixed sign. I have barely any fixed energy in my chart, just in general. But, I have a little bit. Aquarius rising, Mercury in Aquarius, that's it. But other than that, and Pluto in Scorpio, I guess, but, that's basically nothing. So, again, even I think all signs should do this is what I'm trying to spit out, but definitely would do that. You could also be getting credit for work. The Three of Pentacles, he's done a good job. It's a card of quality work, so he's getting credit for the work that he's done, which is great. With the Four of Wands, you have the Empress here. Yeah, definitely a very abundant reading, and you really could be very attractive at this time, Scorpio. So if you're looking for love, I would definitely put yourself out there, and you could find a person. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Queen of Swords. Kind of changes the message of the Wheel of Fortune because Queen of Swords would be seeing what you need to do to take control of your destiny. She represents, in the good stuff especially, she represents clarity for the first time, or like getting clarity on your situation for the first time. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is gratitude, luxuries, abundance. We see a lot of this good, abundant energy here. The Nine of Pentacles is also independence. So you could be feeling very independent at this time or working on your independence. Like I said, it's not really a love reading. So I kind of feel that you are working on your own strength. Like you have this strength card over here, and it's like you are working on being able to take care of yourself. You have this wedge card. It says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Yes, people are really taking things personally right now, I think. So your success, someone in your life could be taking your success personally, right? I think we don't realize that people do that. It's like as you become more successful, it kind of points out the laziness in people in your life, and so they might take it personally, but I wouldn't let it affect you in general. You have this pin card. It says new job or career, or promotion. I would add to this. Like, again, if you're getting an opportunity, or if there is an opportunity to go for something again, I definitely would, especially in work. You have this sun card. It says happiness and well-being. All 3 water signs had the sun, or a certain version of the sun. You have 2 sun cards here. I think Pisces had 2 sun cards, and I think Cancer had 2 sun cards. So clearly, it could be a very happy time for water. You have this vulture. It says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Mars retrograde. Mars is direct. If you're watching this the week of the 5th, of course, but it was in the shadow until like May 2nd or 3rd. So if you're watching this early, we still might be under the Mars retrograde shadow. So I always tell people ignore it, plain and simple. You have this gong. It says an exciting event. Yeah, definitely a lot of excitement this week, it looks like, for all water signs. So I definitely like to see that, but looks good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.